don't think, okay, George started it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, ladies, sending you out all the love and blessings on our night as we go toward the end. They think it's the end, but we all know it's not the end of Women's History Month, because we have it 365 this year, 366. So we doing it this year, and I've got some true wonderful queens in the house tonight. I just want to say this is Talene Dickerson, the chair for the Education and Youth Services Committee meeting for March 26th. It is now 7:08, and we are beginning our meeting. Let me first welcome everyone. And as I normally do, read you our mission statement, which is the Education and Youth Services Committee collaborates with public and private schools, colleges, and universities, teachers, parents, or guardians, along with all community stakeholders, to ensure positive educational outcomes for our community. The goal is to improve educational services provided to the community in our district and collaborate with other communities in the borough. This committee will serve as a liaison between community members, mental health providers, and the New York City Department of Education, including but not limited to libraries, parent advocates, parent associations, CEC District 11, educators and principals, school safety, Administration for Children's Services, District Attorney's Office, and New York City Department of Youth and Community Development, and local organizations and nonprofits. I'm gonna kind of speed through here for a second, ladies, if you don't mind, because I want to give Ms. Shira a chance to present so that she can get on to her next journey this evening. You know what? Hold on 2 seconds. I'm doing grandma duties and everything all at the same time. Denise, how we doing? I'm just waiting for her to get settled.
Arlene, are you able to see the photo I shared?
Hold on. No, I saw it
No.
before. A couple of minutes ago, it was on there.
All right, let's try and see.
But right now, it's not.
All right. I'll try it again because it was on before. So I'm
Yes.
hoping that it will be agreeable. I didn't know if you had it or not, but let's try and see. It's not giving me the option now.
Okay, let me try.
Yeah. Before I had a photo option and now I don't. So I don't know if it changed.
And I'm loving it. Neither do I.
Let's see. I can try to open up my email again, which is what I was doing earlier, and see if maybe if I share it that way. Oh yeah, gotta love technology. Let's see. Is it showing at all? No?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we'll work with that because it's not sharing the photo, but it'll share my screen. So at least something will be there. Good
That
evening.
works.
I'm so honored, and thank you so much for the invite, Helene. My name is Denise Shear, and I'm really honored to be a guest tonight at this education meeting, because education is what my life's been all about. So one of the things I wanted to share is that wholeheartedly, I believe in wellness and wellness in schools and preventative measures, wellness and restorative work. And it's the work that I've done. I actually have retired from the Department of Ed after 30 plus years working with the Department of Education. And I served in just about every role in the DOE. I was a teacher and a staff developer and coach and building administrator and central and district administrator, as well as assistant superintendent. And in most of the years that I was in the Department of Ed, I really focused a lot of my work and time in supporting school culture and climate, and doing as much as possible preventative work to work on building positive culture and climate. So my work has always been around social emotional learning and wellness. And sometimes, of course, it was also about managing crises and dealing with crises. And so I really believe wholeheartedly in that work. But I also, born and raised in the Bronx, Puerto Rican background on both sides of my father and mother, both sides of my family. And so I also did a lot of work around anti-bias work and equity work. And I really do as much as I can, continue to do as much as I can around lifting up people of color, but especially women and women of color. And the two projects I'm currently working on, in addition to continuing to do wellness support in various communities and communities of color, communities that are underserved, and certainly a lot of the communities that are aged populations and limited mobility populations. But I'm also doing two projects right now. One is that I've co-authored a book called Latina Radiance, and it's Love Letters to the Soul, and it's comprised of 35 educators that are C-suite educators across the country, and really just sharing our personal journey and our professional stories and culture, and coming from humble beginnings, and how we really overcame and were resilient, overcame struggles and obstacles. And so it's really meant as an inspirational text. And I happen to be the only educator that is in the northeast of the country. I think only one of two in the eastern United States. So I'm happy to represent the Bronx, represent my culture, represent New York City and the northeast of the country in sharing my story, as well as a play that I'm actually participating in that is about raising scholarship money for Latino students and students of color. And that is also with the Latina theme. And it's Yo Soy Latina, which will be coming out in June in the Bronx. And so a lot of the work that I did and I built my career on is work that I'm continuing in various venues, and really just embracing culture, embracing communities that most need support and that are able to really just share their stories and their voice, which many times are silenced and not heard, and making sure people feel seen and people are working on well-being, both physical and mental. In my own health challenges in the last couple of years, and I know my sister Colleen knows what that's all about, and I've also dealt with my own health challenges. And so that's really what's led me to do a lot of the work around wellness. And I'm working with a lot of communities and senior centers and hospitals and patients that have cancer and other chronic illnesses, as well as limited mobility, and really dealing with the challenges of being an aged population. And so I'm doing a lot of work with wellness around those communities as well. So it's really my pleasure and honor to be here and share some of the work, and really the work that I believe should continue and should be embraced in our schools and in our communities as much as possible. Certainly our community schools are offering so many things in these areas. So I'm grateful that Talene asked me to come and share some of the work I'm doing. And I'm excited to be in the presence of so many others that are doing so much for our communities, and especially for women during Women's History Month. So thank you so much for the invite. I appreciate it.
You are more than welcome. I didn't know, I'm just sitting here grinning. I know I'm looking at you, Sheba. Sheba, you're grinning with me. I'm sitting here. Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask Denise, Mishira? No? Denise, I know you have to leave us, but fortunately this is recorded. So you'll be able to catch the rest of it at your leisure.
Well, thank you. Yes, I was excited to hear about that because I unfortunately am running to a rehearsal, and so I'm a little late, but I'm excited that I was able to be here, and I thank you for having me go early so that I would be able to
Yes, and you see I have my
hear
book
Lisa.
right here.
Excellent. Thank
Yes.
you. Yes, our whole goal, the 35 of us that have contributed, our whole goal is about inspiring people really who are going through their own struggles and their own challenges, and especially those in our types of communities and those that have experienced things that are really sometimes making them feel like they're going to give up. And so, my motto, my chapter on chapter 5 is about don't doubt yourself. You've always got this. No matter what comes your way, you'll be able to get through it and shine brightly. And it may have changed you forever, as we all know many of our circumstances do, but you'll always pick up and keep going. So Talene, if I have a moment with the group, I just wanted to just do a very brief mindful practice. It's a lot of the work that I do is around mindfulness, and especially since it's still early enough. So I just wanted to ask everybody, especially since it's the beginning of the meeting, if you'd be interested and willing to participate, you certainly are welcome to. And for the mindfulness practice, I just want to do a little bit of breathing and then a little bit of centering and grounding and affirming. And so it'll be brief, but one of the things that I tend to do to help me with focus when I'm doing mindfulness is I close my eyes. So I don't want to be rude. I just want to explain why I'm closing my eyes. And for those of you who choose to participate, you're welcome to also close your eyes or focus on the screen or anywhere else in your setting, even gaze down toward the floor if that helps. But just take a moment to get comfortable in your seat, in your setting as much as possible, and take some breaths so that you're breathing perhaps normally, but slowing your breath down and deepening your breath so that it's helping you be centered and grounded in the moment. And really, mindfulness just means being present and being aware. So take a moment to be aware of what's going on for you inside of your body, in your immediate setting, perhaps in the setting that is around you, outside of your space. Maybe be keenly aware of some of your senses, what you may hear in your own body, perhaps your heartbeat or your breath, as you're just breathing slowly and deeply. Just take note of what sounds you may hear in your own space, what sounds you may hear a little bit more distant, perhaps outside of your door or your window. And as you're taking in the moment and just being so keenly aware of your own body, your own space, check in also with your emotions, how you're feeling, where you're at. Always remembering that there's no need to judge your own emotions or try to change them, just being aware of them and acknowledging them, nurturing them. So just take a moment to think about something that you are grateful for this day, this week, this month, even this year thus far, something you may have done for someone else or someone may have done for you, or something you may have done even for yourself, even giving yourself a moment of time for self-care or self-reflection, something you may be proud of. And just take a moment to note that gratefulness, perhaps vocalize that gratefulness when you're off this call. So it's helpful to share gratitude and be mindful of things you're grateful for. And if I may, you can choose to either repeat after me in your mind or aloud. I am good enough just as I am. I am perfect in my own way. I am worthy of respect. I'm worthy of care. I'm worthy of love and support. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be at peace. I wish you all well in your endeavors. And again, I'm so grateful to Talene for inviting me and thankful to all of you for the work that you do for our community. And of course, if you need to reach out, I have my social media available as well on the photo, and you're welcome to just look me up in my name, reach out on any DM, and I'd be happy to engage with any of you as you need. Thank you so much, Talene, and thank you to the committee and the attendees.
Denise, you're so extremely welcome, and this was so very needed. So many blessings. You have a message. I don't know if you see it from Sharon Johnson from District 11, saying thank you for sharing with us, Denise. Keep up the
You're
great work.
welcome. Thank you so much. Now I got to figure, I want to make sure I unshare, but I have to, for some reason, it always disappears. So I want to make sure that I do that for you guys. So you can continue and I'll see if I can undo what I've done here.
No problem. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's see. Perhaps when I exit, it'll unshare.
Okay, so if you were privileged enough to see your, I like that happy face, Juliet. The next exciting person on my agenda will be Dr. Diane Price Banks. Now, let me tell you something. During the whole time, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time because I really could with this, but she helps me through everything, and she's sitting there smiling. I mean, I called her all hours of the day and night to ask about different things that was going on. And if you don't know, I'll tell you again. If you do know, I am a heart transplant recipient from 4th of July, 21. So I'm coming up on 3 years that I am so blessed and so obedient, which is why I like stuff like this. But I call her and I ask her for everything. What's going on with this? What's going on with that? What my medicine is this, and this is what test. And so let me just read this to you real quickly. Dr. Diane Price Banks is Associate Professor of Biological Sciences at Bronx Community College in New York City, where she also serves as Program Director for the Medical Laboratory Technician Program. In 2019, she earned a PhD in Urban Education for Math, Science, and Technology. from the Graduate Center within the City University of New York. Her education, hold it. Her research specializes in STEM education with a focus on faculty preparation and learned helplessness, microbiology with a focus in soil and water microbiome. Now she got me with this word and she cracks me up all the time. Epidemiology, yes, with a focus in infectious disease transmission and science history education, with a focus on rediscovering the contributions of African Americans in science education. Now, all right, girls, you all ready? Dr. Banks has several publications to include her book, The Business of Education, Networks of Powers and Wealth in America, was published by Taylor and Francis in 2017. Her work has been published in Theory, Research, and Action in Urban Education. She co-authored the American Society for Clinical Laboratory Sciences in 2018. Workforce Shortage Position Paper, and authored, I'm all tongue-tied, and authored 2 ASCP LMU webinar courses. Her latest publication is a co-authored piece entitled Online and In-Person, Learning Preferences During the COVID-19 Pandemic Among Students Attending the City University of New York. Dr. Banks' awards and honors include a 2017-2018 Science Teaching Fellowship and the American Society for Microbiology, and national certification as a medical laboratory scientist from the American Society for Clinical Pathology in 2015. She's currently fighting on the first lines of the COVID-19 pandemic in several Westchester clinical laboratories. And so let me tell you, I was able to look at my doctors and say, if it wasn't for the laboratories, y'all would not know what is going on with me, and be very, very proud in it. So I'm going to give you now Dr. Price Banks.
Thank you so much for that esteemed welcome. I appreciate that. And yes, she is correct. She would call me all throughout the day and night, asking me about, what do I do with this? What is this? The doctor told me this. Is this correct? But I'm happy to be a clinical epidemiologist and able to support her in that way. Today, I'm coming to you about our workforce shortage. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully I have access to do so. Yes, I do. I'm going to speak to you today about, and just let me I don't know if this happened well because I don't see a preview, but do you see the flyer that says MLT Medical Lab Technician? Okay, perfect. So like Ms. Dickerson explained, I am the program director for the only medical laboratory technician program in the 5 boroughs. So in New York City, Bronx Community College houses the only medical laboratory technician program. So not only are we the only one, we have to be the best because we're the only one. So our program is typically 2.5 years to complete. But because we have a workforce shortage, we have to do what we can to try to mitigate that shortage. Why is this important? Well, like Ms. Dickerson mentioned, the laboratory provides 70% of the clinical diagnoses to the doctors, who then shares that with the patients. So our job is very critical to the patient care in the hospitals or at the clinics, etc. So it's very important that we have these able-bodied superheroes, because we are superheroes in the lab. We're saving lives every day. So my cape is a lab coat. We're out there saving lives every day. So it's really important that we have educated bodies to do this phenomenal work. And many of you that know me, Ms. Dickerson allowed me to introduce myself to you before. During the pandemic, for example, what we did was so pivotal in identifying who had COVID and who did not, right? For those who were exposed. So we were the ones out there receiving those swabs that everybody was taking, the nasal swabs, and they put it in a bag and they sent it out to somewhere. That somewhere was us. We received those bags, we received those tubes in those bags, and then we ran those PCR tests to determine the absence or presence of COVID-19, in which we then let the patients know through the doctors that they were positive for COVID or not. So we have had a devastating hit to our field. One, because of COVID, a lot of people retired, and then two, the baby boomers are getting older. They're ushering out of the field. They're going into retirement. They're moving, and so we have a deficit. And the deficit is that we do not have enough students going into this program and graduating and meeting the needs of those that are leaving the industry. So what does that mean? Well, if we continue on this trajectory, then we're going to see delayed patient results. The patients are going to go to the hospital, they're going to get their blood drawn, they're going to submit their information, their samples to the lab, and then it's going to take them days before they get the results back. We don't want that. So we need your help. And I'm here to introduce this program that we've created. So Bronx Community College created a fast track program. We call it the Summer Accelerated Program for potential students that have a bachelor's degree already and they want to maybe change careers, or they want to get into the clinical field. They want to be a superhero in the lab and they want to save patients' lives every day. Well, this is what we can do. We're going to take a lot of those credits. And if you look at the bottom of that flyer, it says pre and co-requisites. We're going to look at everyone's transcripts that's interested in coming into this program, and we're going to make sure that they've completed all of these prerequisites. If they did complete these prerequisites, then that means that they qualify for the Summer Accelerated Program. And what we're going to do is we're going to start them in the summer to do the first sequence of courses. Our total program has 3 sequences of courses and an internship, a 15-week internship at the clinical hospitals. For example, Jacobi, New York Presbyterian, Montefiore. So many of the hospitals we are affiliated with will accept our students for the 15-week rotation. After the 15-week rotation, which usually happens in the summer, because this is a summer to summer program, within a year, our students that graduate are able to take the ASCP exam, which is the American Society for Clinical Pathology national exam, and become a certified medical laboratory technician upon passing that exam. But not only do they get the national certification, they also get the New York State licensure, which allows them to work in New York State. And any clinical hospital in New York State. We've partnered with 1199, and the benefit of 1199 is that we are working to get our students jobs right out the door. So as soon as they take this exam, they pass the exam, 1199 helps us along with our career services at Bronx Community College to get them placed in a job in New York City or New York State. Now, with that being said, our students get to work 1 year in the clinical laboratory with the full benefits, and these students graduates, shall I say, will get and earn anywhere between $58,000 to $78,000 a year off of a 2-year degree. That's phenomenal for an associate's degree. Because of our partnership with 1199, if the graduate now works for a year, they now will pay the graduate or the member now, because now they're a union member, they will help the student get a bachelor's or master's degree or doctorate in the clinical laboratory science, tuition free. And that is a great benefit. So we are partnering with our community and with our hospitals to make sure that we are able to usher in able-bodied and intelligent qualified people to be in the laboratory and help diagnose patients. And we are hoping that our students go on to the bachelor's degree and a master's degree or the doctorate, because we have to get some credentials behind our names, right? So once they do that, and 1199 will help fund that, we want them to then the students to then circle back. Now, here's another caveat. For those students that do go on to get the bachelor's degree and the master's degree, their salary, once they become a clinical laboratory scientist, which is like me, a clinical laboratory scientist, they now can earn anywhere between $80,000 to $106,000 a year. And that's just off the bachelor's degree, absent of overtime. Okay, not including overtime. Overtime, they're making big bank. But I just want to make sure, I tell you all about the salary, so that is, something that this is a lucrative career, and it's so many ways that you can help. Like, for example, I get to help Miss Tolene when she has questions about the clinical laboratory. I'm able to answer those questions. We are also helping the community because we now know what the community needs when it comes to clinical laboratory testing. So I implore you to take this flyer. I'm going to try to drop it in the chat. Hopefully that you have it. I'm also going to give the flyer to Miss Tolene so that she can distribute it. I ask that please, within your networks, you share this abundantly. Put it on your Facebook page or social media page. I thank you for it. Tag Bronx Community College in it if you need to. But we need to spread this out like it's, the next big thing, right? So that we can get more people who are not doing anything and don't know what they want to do with their careers to come into this field and really do something phenomenal for the community. Thank you for your time. And Ms. Dickinson, thank you for the opportunity to present this education program to your education committee.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Do you work with high schools to prepare students to possibly join the program?
Ms. Simpson, thank you for your question. And yes, so I often go to high schools virtually or in person and do a presentation. I also work with science counselors, and Bronx Community College is looking to bridge this gap with principals and vice principals. And what we're doing is we're letting them know what we need from the high schools to help the students be better prepared to come into our program. The other thing is, this is not typically set up for high school students, which we call traditional students. This is for someone that already has a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree and is looking to find a career that's going to yield them some higher pay. Our traditional program, however, which is the 2-year to 2.5-year program, those traditional students would usually usher in through that program because they have to complete those pre and co-requisites. The benefit is that if you team up with us, your high school, for example, teams up with us, and you do, for example, advanced placement courses through Bronx Community College, and we bridge the high school through there, then when they graduate high school and they transfer into the college, they're transferring at an upper level because they've already taken some of the college courses. So yes, I will put my information in the chat. If you want to connect the colleges with Bronx Community College, I'll make sure that the proper team gets in contact with you so we can make that happen.
Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome.
Can I bridge in here between you two ladies? Diane, she's from Explorations Academy, where you came, my granddaughter's school.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do presentations there.
Right, but she's been there before.
Okay.
It was on Career Day, and it was,
I wasn't there that
remember,
day.
it was virtual. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll put that in the chat, and I'll entertain any questions in the chat or live if I have time. But I'll be around for a minute.
Thank you so much.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dr. Banks. All right, so this is awesome. Okay, like really, really awesome. I'm gonna send you my information off to the side because yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But just to confirm, so the students need to have an associate's or a BA to be able to start. If they have, let's say, a certain amount of credits, like maybe they didn't fully matriculate, but they have enough credits for like their freshman year, would BCC be able to assist them with financial aid? And this also applies to adult learners.
Okay, so financial aid is we have a financial aid office. They will assist anybody that needs financial aid. The first thing we're going to have the student do is fill out that FAFSA. That FAFSA is going to let us know how much money they can get and how much money they can't. But here's the benefit about Bronx Community College, and not to toot our own horn, but I am tooting, okay? Our tuition is the lowest, okay, amongst all the colleges in the Bronx and in the city. So CUNY has made sure that we have the lowest tuition. So it's 2,800, 2,880, I believe it is for one semester. So 2 semesters is close to 5,000 or 5,000, a little more than $5,000. That's the cheapest you're going to get for quality education. We do the best. We're the bomb.com when it comes to quality education. We compare ourselves to Fordham, although Fordham you pay more. Why go to Fordham? You can go to Bronx Community College and pay less.
Y'all thought I was playing when I put all of y'all together, right?
No, we didn't think you were playing.
Okay, you know, this is, yeah. Okay.
All right, Ms. Dickinson, you can have your meeting back. Thank you so much. I'll be in the chat.
Thank you, Dr. Banks.
Just so you know, you're speaking, but we can't hear you.
Thank you. I'm just busy talking up a storm.
Oh.
I'm loving it. Okay, so what I was saying was thank you so much. And we're getting ready for our next presenter, which is, as she was looking at me like, I know she's getting ready to say it. I gotta say it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do, because Joan Claude, she started it. Our library and cultural committee chair, she started it when you first came on there, and that was, she got so wrapped up with the name. Our next presenter's name is Sheba Simpson Amsterdam, and Miss Claude decides that it's Queen Sheba, and that's why, look, she's shaking her head at me. You remember I'm working in the high schools, you know, it stuck. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It stayed right with me. So just to okay, Diane, okay, your stuff is in there. Okay. So Sheba is also, Miss Amsterdam is also at the school where my granddaughter goes and my niece graduated from. Sheba Simpson Amsterdam is a native New Yorker who has lived most of her life in Harlem. Sheba is a mother, grandmother, and wife. She has dedicated her life to educating students in New York City public schools for more than 20 years as a special education teacher, Dean, New York City Men Teach Mentor, and currently as the special education coordinator at a high school in the Bronx. Sheba also works at Achieve Beyond as a case manager, providing early intervention services to children from birth through 3 years old. Whenever Sheba is asked what has kept her in the field of education, her response is always the same: the relationships she has cultivated with her students and their families. Sheba is the founder and CEO of I'm on Assignment Incorporated, a nonstop organization located in New York City, which services did I say nonstop? Nonprofit, which services marginalized communities through advocacy, education, financial literacy, and social justice. Sheba is a 2022 alumni of Leaders of Color, a member of the International Society of Female Professionals, a keynote speaker for Black Speakers Network and Success Fest 2023. In addition, she is a volunteer with Helping Hands, which delivers food packages to homebound individuals. As a former 2021 candidate for New York City Council, Sheba knows all too well about political and professional sabotage. However, she has not let it deter her from remaining committed to serving marginalized communities through advocacy, education, financial literacy, and social justice. In addition, Sheba is the author of the book, I'm on Assignment, and So Are You, which was born out of the many people she met during the campaign. People who had such similar life experiences, beliefs, talents, and aspirations. Sheba's book helps people silence the noise to get to their purpose and fulfill their earthly assignment. The book can be purchased on Amazon.com. Do you want me to put your contact in now, or you'll put it in later?
You could put it in. You were doing a great job.
To contact Sheba, please visit her nonprofit website, www.imonassignment.com. Email imonassignment22@gmail.com. Or you can call 646-499-3350. Sheba, you got to put this in the chat.
Now, you know how I am with technology, but I'll do it.
Okay. Good girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Tarlene, aka Lady T. I am so grateful to be amongst you tonight, to follow two amazing women doing the great work in their respective fields. I'm always inspired by the work that unsung heroes do in the world that makes the world a better place. And I hope I'm among those people that do that. Oftentimes, when I hear my biography, I say sometimes, who is that person? You know, you just do things and you do them, and you don't think about them as being part of this story of who you are, but it truly is who you are. Um, Education has always been an important part of me. From a very young age, I didn't find out until I was in my 40s that I went to school knowing how to read. And I've been in school on and off since I was 3 years old. So again, education is embedded into me, love of reading, supporting people, and being supported by people who know that our society needs people like myself, um, Dr. Banks, Miss Tolene, and Miss Shira, uh, to do this work to move society forward. When I was asked to speak tonight, I said, well, what do you want to talk about? She said, anything you want to talk about. So I thought about this uh, organization or this committee of education and youth. And because I've worked with the youth for so long, I'm a mother of three, one 35 years old, one 29, and one 17. I feel like my whole entire life has been centered around children. And in recent months, a lot of young people that I've encountered have been talking to me about their personal journeys in life and the things that they are fearful of, concerned about, um, and excited about, even in these troubled times that we are living. Our young people are still excited about their lives, and that's a good thing. Um, and what was most surprising to me was that they opened up to me with stories that really shook me to the point where I had to say to some of them, do you talk to your parents about it? And the answer oftentimes is no. So again, going back to why I was asked to speak, and the decision I came up was, is your child talking to you? And I was up at 1 o'clock in the morning wondering what I was going to say to to everyone tonight. And I hope that anything I say resonates somewhere within you that you can share within your realm of influence. And this is for parents, aunts, uncles, any child that you have contact with. I think that this good word will help. And again, is your child talking to you? Are you noticing that your child is more reserved or distant when they are around you? When they ask, you ask, how was their day? What happened in school? Or did anything exciting happen? And their response is, oh no, nothing. It might be time for us to reflect on the level of trust and openness in your relationship with your child or your children. As I stated earlier, recently more and more young people have come to me to share information about their experiences and their relationships. And again, I ask, have you spoken to your mother, your father, whoever you're living with? And most of the time it's no, because they won't care. No, because they're going to yell at me. No, because I'm afraid what I tell them or what they will say or do to me. But the most disheartening part is when they say, I feel more comfortable talking to you. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute. I'm just some person that they see maybe 5 days a week, maybe once a week, maybe one time at an event that I may happen to be at, and they start talking to me. But for a child to say, or a young person to say, I feel more comfortable talking to you when I'm relatively a stranger to them, says a lot about our society at this point in time. So as parents, we want our children to have relationships with others. However, those relationships shouldn't give them more comfort and safety than the ones they have with their parents, especially if those outside connections aren't positive. As parents, it's crucial to build a trusting and a trusted environment where they feel comfortable and safe to open up is key to fostering honest kind of conversations. I can remember a time when I was a teenager and I really wanted to talk to my mom about something, but our relationship was one that was contentious. And so I literally wrote down what I wanted to say to her, and I had this mirror on my desk that I put the letter where she could see it if she came into my room. And I could tell that she read it, one, because it was gone, but my mom never came to me and talked about what I had wrote in that letter. And so I think about young people and I think about how they must feel the way I felt. And I'm thankful that as I got older, I did find people that I could talk to. So encouraging honesty from a young age helps children to develop good communication skills and build a foundation of trust that will benefit them throughout their lives. Creating a space for open communication starts with active listening and showing genuine interest in what your child is saying. It's important. Maybe not to you, but to them it's important. By creating a non-judgmental space, you're letting them know that their thoughts and feelings are valued. One of my favorite quotes that I use to ground myself before I engage in speaking with people, especially young people, is learn to listen and listen to learn. By doing so, I force myself to actively listen to what the other person is saying instead of waiting to respond to make my point. So learn to listen, listen to learn. It also makes the other person feel validated and more inclined to thoroughly express their feelings and opinions. Children especially teenagers, are more likely to open up when they feel safe and supported by their parents or guardians. By actively listening, being empathetic, and showing genuine interest forces a strong bond that creates an open dialogue. I ask you, don't be the parent when your child speaks to you, they're thinking it's a monologue instead of and not a dialogue. They don't want to be talked at. They want to be talked to. They want to be spoken to. Take the time to engage with your child regularly, whether it's through shared activities, shared meals. A lot of our families don't sit at tables anymore and have dinner. Those were the times where the good laughs were made, the jokes were had, the stories were told, the comfort was, given to what was going on in their lives, or just dedicated one-on-one time. Building a strong foundation of trust will pave the way for meaningful conversations and a deeper connection to your child or children. We have all seen on social media what can happen when children, especially teenagers, don't have active parents or guardians to positively influence them to be or do their best. It is an assignment of parents not only to protect your children, but to provide the blueprint on how to confidently navigate life's obstacles and challenges. That can only happen when parents and guardians consistently and effectively communicate with their children. Children need to know that they can come to you with anything, whether it's a small concern or a big issue. Creating a safe space where they feel heard and understood is key to nurturing this bond of trust. When I think of a bond of trust, I think of Summer, who is Miss Soline's granddaughter. The way she speaks to Summer and to Master and to her own daughter, it always amazes me, um, because again, I didn't have that as a kid. So when I meet people who have that, I it gives me chills, but it also gives me happiness because I know that it is possible. I tried to be that to my own children. I don't know if I've uh, was successful. I know that my son says I taught him how to be a man more than his own father, not to take anything away from his father, but I think that's a great compliment. Um, but we should remember, as human beings, we all seek out to connect with each other through our relationships. It is through our relationships that we find love, acceptance, laughter, validation, the ability to be vulnerable, to express our emotions, our thoughts, our quirks, and our aspirations. So, what better relationship is there to build than the ones we share with our children? Thank you. Again, I'm Sheba Simpson Amsterdam. I'm the founder and CEO of I'm on Assignment Inc., located in New York City. I'm also the author of the book I'm on Assignment and So Are You, which is available on Amazon. And I can be found on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate the time. And thank you for holding up my book, Darlene. It's such a shameless, so shameless.
I'm telling you, it's nothing. It's all about support. I mean, I'm loving it, and I see Latanya down there shaking because I know she's all about books. She is. I mean, I'm bringing the books into the community. I know she's all about books.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Or, as Joan would say, Queen Sheba. You know I had to say that.
Sorry. Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Carol.
Hi. Hi. So sorry. I was coming from work and got into something, so I got here a little late. So I didn't get to hear about what your organization is about, Sheba. Can you say a few words about that?
Sure. it, I'm on Assignment Inc. was created after I ran for city council, and it helps marginalized communities through advocacy, financial literacy, education,
And they were
and, and social justice.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for the question.
They're saying you are amazing in the chat. I hope you're reading the chat.
So my what's the word? My I don't have my glasses on, so no, my vanity. I can't see it.
Well, if you look on here, you see a bunch of people with glasses on, and you know, it's not about vanity. It's about I need to see all of y'all. Definitely need to see y'all. And I've got to tell you, when I met Sheba, Miss Amsterdam, I came up in the school and she laughs and we talk about it all the time because she said I just like ran up on her, you know, just felt like everything just ran up on her. I mean, that's the only way to put it. And I
She
mean,
kind of scared me. She walked up on me so fast and was looking down at me because you know she's tall. I was like, okay. And she's like, how are you? It was like instant friendship.
oh, that's how it is sometimes. That's how it is sometimes. And I keep looking around at all y'all, and I'm feeling that. I'm really seriously feeling that. Even my District 11 boo right there, blowing me kisses. I love it. I love it. Okay, so
I'm sorry. I got to interrupt you for a second. You did that to me too when we were in the school together.
yes,
We
Carol.
worked together for a while in the DOE, and she found me and kept talking to me until I was talking back.
Yeah, she was trying to be all all evasive and stuff. I don't care about that. I don't care about that at all. We had one more person to present, but she is not going to be able to join us because the chancellor stole her. Chancellor Banks stole her, and she's in Washington Heights at the city hall.
Okay.
And that is
Is it? I'm
Maisha.
sorry. Can I put something out there, Talene, right now?
Sure.
Okay. So, I'm a supervisor of the Ed Specialist Unit at Children's Aid, and like I said, I have a history in the DOE for about 29, 30 years, worked there. So a lot of my time in the DOE was spent working with the high school students and trying to get them involved in internships and different experiences that would help them plan things about their future college, whether it was college or whether it was internship programs or mentorship programs or vocational programs. And when I taught in the high schools, every single one of my kids went to college, and most of them got full or partial scholarships. Well, now, as the position I'm in at Children's Aid, um, I have staff that work with all age groups, and I have 3 staff that work with the college students and high school students, 4 actually. And, a lot of times we're able to, we have like over 40 kids right now in college that are foster care kids that we support throughout their college journey until they get their bachelor's degree. And then we even have 4 in a master's program that we also support. And then, we have 15 kids applying for next year. But every now and then, though, I have kind of special circumstance kids where they've been so disenfranchised that they really don't have a plan for their future. They don't really want to talk about it much. And a lot of the work there is trying to get kids to re-engage. So I want to work with some folks on a project. For instance, I have one young lady she's really not attending high school the way she should. So we've been talking to her to find out, like, what is your interest? Like, what do you think you want to do when you graduate? And finally, she told us the other day, I'm interested in cosmetology. Now, unfortunately, she doesn't have her high school diploma yet. We're trying to get her to re-engage with school. So I spoke with some folks today that might be able to do something, but I'm interested in putting together some kind of support system for kids like her. Like, in other words, I only just barely started speaking with one that runs a school like that today, but I would have to figure out how we could fund some kids like this so that they can do some kind of activity that will help to motivate them so that they can really get through their high school degree so that they could go forward into whether it's vocational or other areas. So I'm just putting it out there. Talene has all of my emails and phone numbers and everything. And I don't know if people are interested in coming up with something or working together, but I'm just putting it out there today.
There were some few videos we are saying discussing. I haven't taken much time.
Were you gonna want to
I'm
say
sorry.
something, Sheba, to me?
No, I
One second.
want you to know that I'm willing to work and support you.
I appreciate that so much. And so maybe we can, Talene can give you my information, or she can give me your information, and then we can
Certainly.
have a conversation. I appreciate you very much.
I appreciate you as well. Talene, can I give a shout out to my mentee? I'm also a mentor for the Braven program, which is in City College. And my mentee, we meet once a week on Wednesday, and she texts me. We were working on something of hers last week, and she texts me to let me know that what we did garnered her an interview for a position that she really wants. But she's on here tonight, and I just want to say, hey, and I'm very proud of you.
We're all very proud of you.
Her name is Nasiratu.
Nasiratu, extremely proud of you.
Yes.
Yes.
She's studying to be a PA.
Nice.
Many blessings. Great. Okay, so I was as I was getting ready to say, Maisha Taylor Mike was scheduled to be our next presenter, but she's with Chancellor Banks in Washington Heights at a town hall. So let me just say this real quickly. If you saw the agenda, which I hope you did, you see that I have a section that I've developed called the Stakeholders Corner, because I honestly and truly feel that this can't go on. This is our village without the stakeholders, right? My whole life. That was what I walked through. Everybody on the stoop, everybody that told you what to do, everybody that called your mother or your grandmother or your uncle, or it could be your aunt, it could be a teacher, it could be the crossing guard, it could be the lady in the cafeteria, or the man in the cafeteria. It could be various people that were part of the Stakeholders Corner. So if in the beginning of the list of stakeholders that I have, and you basically are all on here, which I love, it says WHMH. Now I put that because I had to do it in such a way that the person wouldn't realize who I was speaking about, because if she did, she would be looking for me right now, which is why I'm glad I'm on here, and she can't get to me. So the person that I'm speaking about, I'm going to read a little something for you, and then you'll be able to see. So this person has given us a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. What is a community coordinator? A community coordinator is responsible for tracking issues with the community, assisting with the development of programs and the coordination of events. As a community coordinator, you ensure community programs are diverse and fit various individuals' needs. Other duties including preparing reports on community issues, responding to requests from community residents, and supporting the community manager. You should have an experience working with people and possess strong communication skills to excel in this career. Additionally, attention to detail and the ability to follow through on commitments are key. So this person that I'm talking about has been our community coordinator in Community Board 12 for just shy of 30 years, coming up on July 10th. And if you've ever needed anything in your life and you were in this community and you needed help with something, you all kind of know, or you didn't, now you know that you call Community Board 12 and ask for Ursula Green. I'm sure I drive Ursula Green completely berserk because I call her for everything and everybody. Etonia is laughing because she knows, I know, I call her if I can't get her on I call her cell phone, I'll text her. This is a woman who has her own family, who has children, grandchildren. And I mean, everything, you juggle all of that, right? And then you are the community coordinator for Community Board 12. And John, is that Ursula back there that I see? Yes or no? Ursula? Oh, Ursula.
Oh, this is Dr. Sherry Samuels is here.
Oh, hi, Sherry. Where's Ursula?
She's in the office on the chat also.
Okay, Ursula Green.
She can hear.
Turn on your mic, Ursula. She can't hear.
I hear you in the background.
Her mic is not working.
Oh, well, that's fine. That mic in there is working, so tell her, come on.
She's laughing.
She's laughing, I know. Tell her she can just walk down the hall a little bit, step right in there where you are, just so that we can tell her how much we appreciate her.
Okay.
And the reason
There she is.
Oh yeah, there she is. Yeah. And I could not ask anybody because I didn't want anybody to let her know that I was planning on doing this. But I did find a post that was on Facebook from what was it, July 10th, 2019, that gave me all the information and the times and the dates and everything. So all my blessings and all my love. And I'm sure
I really appreciate this meeting. You got to do something to get more young adults to come out to these meetings to learn about what's going on.
I'm sorry, John, say that again.
I said I really appreciate coming out to this meeting. I said I learned so much. Like, the medical laboratory technician, that's something that a lot of these kids don't know about. I said I wish we could get more young adults to come out to these meetings and learn about, what's going on, in the different fields and stuff like that. Because these are like hidden gems that no one knows about. And we have a lot of kids in our community that are lost right now, that's looking for something to do.
Yes, and George, John, I appreciate you so much for coming out and being the person, because see, someone has to be in person in order for us to have this with the virtual part as well. And as you all know, I have
Samuels is here, so.
Yes, and Sherry Samuels, Dr. Samuels. She called me. She was on her way. I was like, okay, that's so perfect. Some of the other folks that I'm going to try to briefly run through their names, and I see Maria's on here, Maria Morales. Maria is the UFT, United Federation of Teachers, Bronx Parent and Community Liaison. She's on here as well. Then I have Cynthia Prisco, who's from Councilmember Riley's office, and Lily Espaillat from Representative Bowman, Jenna Klaus from Councilmember Denowitz, Rachel McNair from Speaker Heastie, Kaya George from Senator Bailey. Yes, Shantae Albright, New York Public Library. I have Kathy Fellow, who is from PS 16, and my niece, Dr. Stacy Lopez from PS 9, Sharon Johnson, yeah, from District 11, Raina Smith from New York Public Library, Joan Claude, CB12. She's also the chair for Library and Cultural. Carol, who you met, Carol Singleton with Children's Aid Society, and Stephanie Rojas, who was on vacation doing everything, but she was not going to miss this. She probably jumped off the plane, snatched somebody else's luggage, and got here because she wasn't playing. She was going to be here, which I can't tell you what that means to me. Ashley Jones, who is from the president from the CEC 11. Miss Sanders from Wakefield Taxpayers. Janice Martin from Ridgefield Bank. I wanted to give her shouts. Alina Dowell from the mayor's office. And of course, Bronx Bound Books in the House, Latanya Devon. And that's all of you who are here. And I'm so happy to see my members, my members right here. At this time, this is where I want you all to, if you have anything you'd like to say, to please, raise your hands, jump out here, and say whatever. I'm loving it. Carol, you had something you wanted to say? Carol?
Me, Carol? No.
Yes, you, Carol. Your mic opened up on me. I was just wondering.
Oh, no, it's just still open.
Oh, no problem. Awesome. I'm so good to see you. Nice and quiet.
I let everybody know what I was, about tonight a little while ago. Thank you.
Awesome. Dr. Joseph, I am so happy and so pleased. Dr. Joseph is on my committee, and he is always here for me, no problem. Is there anything you'd like to say, Dr. Joseph?
But what popped into my mind just now about the technician program is how big the program is at this time. So I may as well I'm asking that question now. How many students is in that program?
Dr. Banks?
I just wanted to make sure he was talking about the MLT program.
Yeah, Bronx community, right?
Yes, so right now we thank God because he's been working with us. We have 187, committed souls. We graduate about 33 souls a year. So we are doing what we can to help refill these ranks. But again, these 33 students that we're graduating are not enough to fill the ranks. Right now, a lot of the hospitals in New York City are reaching out to the Philippines, and they're giving visas and sponsorships to Filipinos who have this education and they took the New York State license, and they're coming over to help answer the call to reduce the workforce shortage.
I guess the other question would be, what's the target? How many students do you want?
In abundance. No.
Oh, you must have a number.
So we can only bring in our number of students on intake has to meet the number of affiliates that we have. Right now, by the grace of God, we have 17 affiliates. So we can bring in about 32 students a semester, and we can graduate about that. So right now we're not meeting our target. We still have a gap. So we can bring in about 32 students a semester, and that would fill our target. So right now we brought in 24 last semester, the spring semester, and this semester we're going to do 10 in the summer, sorry, 8 in the summer for the summer accelerator program, and 32 in the fall, to make up 40 students that we're bringing in, and that will be just enough for the number of internships that we have.
And I guess my third question would be, what is the quality of the students you're getting? Many of us in the education business is talking about the quality of students. What's the quality of students you're getting?
So the first thing is they have to get into the college, right? And once they get into the college does a great job of assessing their needs in terms of remedials, English learning courses, etc. We have a lot of programs that would help build them up before they even see me, before they even get into the MLT program. Once they finish all of those gateway courses, for example, then they are qualified to meet with me for an interview. I interview them, and our program, I must admit, is very competitive, of course, because we only can bring in 32 students a semester and 8 students over the summer. When we do that, it's highly competitive. So we turned away 16 students this last semester that started this semester. They're coming back and they're trying to get in for the next cohort of students. So we're doing our best to open up more sections, but it is a rubric. GPA is a factor. Any prior experience in a clinical laboratory is a factor, to include their overall answers on the survey, on the interview questions. So the students that we bring in are top notch. And then we also have a gateway course that if they don't survive the gateway course, then we look to help them find another career path that may work for them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your questions, Dr. Joseph.
Dr. Joseph. Maria Morales, are you available to give us a couple of words? Maria?
Hi, sorry.
Okay, my love.
I'm here. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, Miss D?
Oh, I was just saying, did you want to say a little something to us?
Oh, sure. Give me a second. So, good evening, everybody. Great meeting. You know, I went to a school this week, and at the SLT, at the end of the SLT, they're sharing this book. They're doing like a book club, The 5 Languages of Children. And I thought that was really cool because it's an elementary school, and parents, reading it, because after the chapter they give you some prompting, and some questions and some ideas and suggestions that you could do with your children, so you could learn the love language of your child, and like really, which the lady was talking about, talking to your children, and it will help you to kind of get close to your child and develop that relationship and trust with your child in conversation. So I think it's great if some schools adopted, or community, groups, or even the library, and do a book club. My background is in public health, and I think that we are more preventative than preventative. So if we start doing prevention and we start early on, I think we can kind of solve some of those issues where children, and parents don't communicate or whatnot. Not that it's going to be a perfect world, because there's always, right, dynamic and trauma and all of that stuff that people don't work out. And then they had children. So, but I am the parenting community liaison from for the UFT, and I work with parents to navigate the system, and also to link them to services and provide opportunity for professional development, so they can then be able to advocate for their children and other children. And so I'm here creating spaces for them. And I don't know if you can see my background. That's my corner of community. I love what you say, the stakeholders corner. This is some of the events that we've done with parents in the community. So um, yeah, that's what we do. So we here.
That's
Thank you.
awesome. Maria, Maria, I appreciate you so much.
Oh, I appreciate you too, Miss D.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just quickly, I see Miss Espaillat. Thank you so much for putting your information in the chat. Miss Espaillat.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm trying to put my camera on. Good
It's
evening,
okay.
Evelyn. How are you? I missed your call last week.
It's
The
okay.
message was passed to me, but thank you so much for having me today in our office as well. It's always an honor, especially coming to represent Congressman Bowman. As many of you are aware, he's been an educator for over 20 years, and education is really, really his passion and priorities in this session of Congress. So definitely, I'm taking a lot of information back to him, and definitely he will love to hear from you guys. And I dropped my information in the chat. Please feel free to reach out to our office. Any type of assistance you require, we are here to connect, assist, and provide that assistance to the community. So I really appreciate you guys having us today.
Miss Espaillat, thank you so very much. I appreciate you for getting back with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Who do we have here? Oh, Ashley, Miss Jones from CEC 11. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Ms. Jones, were you going to say a few words?
Wait, I wanted to, okay, I didn't, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Can you see me?
Not at all.
Wait, hold on. It's
okay.
It's starting up. Okay. All right. Sorry, I was on another call. I told you that I would be a little bit late, but good evening, everyone. It was nice to hear a little bit in and out of everybody else's presentation. I don't necessarily have a presentation, but I did wanted to come on and just introduce myself. I am the CEC 11 council member, and I am also the president of the board for this 2023-2024 term. I'm a parent advocate, a lover of education, definitely always pushing to make sure that we keep the kids in our community educated. I'm more driven around technology, since that's definitely what's driving the future. The kids adapt very easily, so I like the fact that it actually sparks their interest. They're really big on social media and things like that. So I always try to give little tidbits, social media, any type of conversations around that when it comes to the kids. However, on the council, we're responsible for the 45 schools, the 45 elementary and middle schools in District 11. And I work with Sharon Johnson, who's also on here. Excuse me, I'm just getting off of another meeting, so I'm trying to remember everything that I needed to say for tonight.
Take your time. Take your time.
And we have a couple of important dates that are coming up. One of them would be the mayor would be coming to District 11, so we're having a town hall which would be May 6th at PS 97 at 6 p.m. I'll be sure to come back on to this meeting to make sure that I keep everybody updated with that information. And we are also sending out a few people a save the date, because we're having our legislative dinner along with the parent leader, principals, and parent coordinator dinner, and the event will be held at Maestro's. So we want to celebrate. We're gonna give out awards to people in the district, educators in this district, so that we're looking forward to that. We also have our monthly meetings. If anybody would be interested to join, I'll put some of our information in the chat as well. But it's usually the third Tuesday of every month. So let me just grab that date, because that's so many dates that I'm spewing out that I can barely remember. But the next meeting, our meeting, would be April 16th. So I want to put that out there. Other than that, if anyone has any questions about our role, about what the council does, just please let me know. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Are you out in the street? If you are, please be safe traveling. Latanya, I'm not sure if you're up to just saying something real quickly, and then Juliet, you're definitely next. Please, you got to tell us about that gem over there in Co-op.
Hello, everyone. I'm trying to get my camera on, but oh, here it is. Hello. Thank you for having me. My name is Latanya Devon, and I'm the founder of Bronx Bound Books. We are a mobile bookstore that travels around the Bronx, making book ownership accessible and affordable to everyone in our borough. Our biggest supporters is the DOE system. We work with schools where we rent the bus and we come to the school. The schools rent the bus and we provide free books for the students. So each student is encouraged to take home 3 books, a book that they know they're gonna love, a book that they're curious about, and a book by an author that they've never read or a different subject that they've never explored, with the hope that they fall in love with reading. We've recently launched our author series where we bring authors to schools. We were just at PS 595 on Friday, and the school bought 300 books for the students, and it was an assembly style event where the author read their book and answered questions and things like that. And we try to bring Bronx-based and local authors to schools with the hope to inspire young readers, illustrators, and book lovers. So thank you.
You are so extremely awesome. I can't even, well, you know how I feel about you, so.
And thank you for your support and your love, you know.
Yes, yes. Does anyone have any questions?
So where's the next place we can see the mobile bus?
So we are operating out of our indoor location until I just recently had surgery. So I'm waiting for a full recovery. So May, we have a lot of dates in May. We have a STEM event in Lehman College where we're looking for volunteers if anyone's interested to be able to help us out in that event. May 18th. So all of May is pretty much booked. And if you find us on social media, you can see where we've been and where we're going. And you can see what type of experience we have to offer. I was recently on the Today Show, and Scholastics donated about 1,000 books to the schools that we work with. So we'll be rolling around with 1,000 books, trying to give them out. We work with Montefiore Hospital. We also work with shelters. Any community organization that would love to have us. Again, our goal is to make book ownership accessible and affordable to everyone in our borough, and we do work outside of the Bronx as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I keep seeing the chat. The chat is popping up. It's like a pot of gold.
Can I ask a question, Ms. D?
Sure.
Do they have a warehouse? Do you guys have a warehouse to keep all the books, or you just
We
purchase
have
what
a
you're going?
studio. We have a studio where we're setting up like a little bookstore with the hopes to invite actually the school leaders that we work with to give them like different experiences. We also host story time at our art center. It's at 240 East 153rd Street. We're located in the BX Arts Factory. That also is another community-based organization that provides free art activities for the community. So it's another organization you should definitely look out for because they're doing amazing work in the community. But each, like I said, we give away 3 books, so our books go fast. So we do have a place where we store books, but again, our books really, really go quickly.
Diane, you had your hand up.
Yes, I have a question. First of all, I'm amazed by what you do. Thank you, because I think reading matters.
Thank you.
So I work at Bronx Community College. I want to know, what type of books do you accept? Because we have a ton.
So we do have a monthly rolling book drop off day. It's usually paired with an author visit where you can drop off some books and you can meet an author, hear a story. It's on. I can send out information also. In April, I'm not sure what day in April we're going to do it. Like I said, I'm in recovery right now, so May is when we're, it's usually our beginning of our season also. But a book that you would feel comfortable giving to someone else to read, just because someone's getting a book that's either low cost or free from us, we still want someone to feel proud of what they're reading. We don't take like religious texts, like we don't take like Bibles and things like that, only because it's hard for us to like give them out. We don't really take dictionaries. We do accept books in Spanish. That's a high demand for us. We take, fiction, nonfiction, any book you would find in a bookstore. We also work with Fordham. They're hosting on-campus book drive for us. So again, if you're an organization that wants to host a book drive for us, we'll give you all the material and instructions that you need, and we'll be able to like collaborate in that way.
You took the question right out my mouth. Thank you. I will email you.
Please do. Thank you. And I'm so inspired by all the work you do, Dr. Banks.
Thank you.
Okay, Juliet, you ready for me? You're so patient. I need you. I need you. Go ahead. Juliet, go ahead. Please join us. Give us. Juliet, can you hear me? You're talking, but we don't hear. I don't hear you. Your microphone isn't on. I can't hear you. There you go. Now your mic is open. Juliet, you can't hear. You can't. We can't hear you. So I'm hoping that you could put all your information in the chat for everybody. Oh, wait, are you coming across now? Yes, I hear you. No, we're not hearing anything. Sorry. I'm sorry, but please put the information in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Sharon, do you have anything you wanted to say to us?
I really don't, but I need to. And
Okay.
I put it in the chat. First of all, I put my information in the chat, and I just want you guys to please add me to your email distribution list. I would love and be honored to share your information throughout District 11. Um, I am a product of District 11. I attended District 11 schools as a child. I moved away when I was about 17, and it's just irony, right? That I came back. It's fate. And I came back to best serve the family and children of District 11. But I wanted to say to you guys, I think we all have a similar story when it comes to Talene. I met her, and it was like at first, we didn't even, I want to tell you guys something. I've never seen her in person. And I've been in my role 2 years, and I feel like we sit and eat breakfast every morning. I mean, just so welcoming and
Oh,
just so loving and caring. And I just want to thank you for embracing me, right? You know me from a can of paint, but my mother always said, it is our elders who are a good judge of character. And I just felt so welcomed by her. And I wanted to thank you for sharing this platform with me. Shout out to every sister on this call. I wrote in the chat, I'm in a room of greatness.
yeah.
I just celebrated 55 years around the sun. And I was like feeling smaller and smaller because I was like, they done did everything. Oh my goodness, she done wrote books. This one did that. But we are all great in our own way. Okay.
Yes,
And so I'm going to say I'm in a room of greatness and I'm a part of that greatness. I just want to shout
you
you
are.
all out and please extend any invitations that you have to me. I will be more than happy to share it, attend it. Thank you so much. You guys have a great, safe night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There's someone on here by the name of Candace, and I'm sorry if I don't know who it is, or maybe I should. Candace, or it says Candace. No, Miss Walker. Don't think you're gonna put something in the chat and that's gonna be all it is. I know you don't think that, right? I know you didn't think you was gonna put a little something in the chat and sneak on out. No. You have some words for me, Miss Walker?
Good evening, everyone. I really have enjoyed the meeting. I've enjoyed hearing about the various programs and work that's being done in our community. I am truly a grassroots person. And so there are a couple of things. Latanya, I will be reaching out to you. I actually have an organization, and we do book drives for multicultural books. And we usually try to find either an after school program or a shelter environment that we donate the books to. So I'll reach out and have a conversation with you.
Thank you.
And the young lady that spoke about having help, getting some help with the program that's coming up, um, you can reach out to me. I'll put my information in the chat so that we can have a conversation. I am a part of this community, and I'm a believer that one person can make a difference, and a group of us together can make a mighty difference. So, thank you for allowing me to speak. I look forward to working with each of you in our own, respective ways. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Desiree Campbell, I see you. You're there too. I'm so pleased to have you join us. Miss Campbell, did you want to say anything before we close out? No, Dr. Samuels, is there anything you'd love, any little nuggets you'd like to drop on us being that you're sitting there?
No, very good presentation. I like that they had with the medical lab technician. That's an excellent program. That's very needed in the hospitals. But otherwise, everything else was very good. It was very well presented.
Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I mean, everybody knows how much I appreciate them, but you are literally got in your car and drove over to the site to sit there and keep John company for me, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm good. I'm glad John gets hyped up every time I have a meeting and he's there for me. And I appreciate him so much. Etonia, don't even try it. Don't even try it.
I'm not leaving the chat. I'm here. If I can see me, I'm still on camera. I'm here.
No, but
You got me
I want
here.
you to,
I'm so happy that you invited me here. This is great.
and I have to tell you, it's funny. When I met Etonia, we started talking and talking, and come to find out, she knew my sister, and my sister worked with her. And it's amazing when you start speaking with people, and you just never know. So this is why I used to always tell my students to be very conscious and very careful about how they act, because you never know who knows you, who knows your family. And any of you who have been around me know it's endless for me. So I always had to be a good girl. I couldn't play. I couldn't play around at all, because somebody always knew somebody who knew somebody. So I had to make sure that I always stayed on point. Let me see. Did I miss it? No, I haven't missed anybody, have I? Natalia's laughing. Yeah, no joke. Tiffany. Okay. Well, John, ladies, Dr. Joseph, I'm looking at the time and I've
Hello?
kept you.
Can you hear
Yes.
me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Hi.
Yay!
I'm Juliet Duggins. Thank you so much for inviting me on the call. I love joining your meetings. It has me so excited that I've been even moved to join the community board. And I put down that, oh, I enjoy coming to your meetings, why I want to join the community board. So thank you, Ms. Talene.
You're welcome.
I'm Juliet Duggins. I am the center director here at Sylvan Learning of the Northeast Bronx, right here in Co-op City. We just celebrated 1 year of being opened here in Co-op, so I'm excited about that. We've been really a need in our community, and it's proven itself so much that in 1 year we're almost full, like at capacity, where we're about to have just only waiting list opportunities, which is a blessing for having a business open for 1 year. But what's even better about that is the fight that we had to take to be here, right? To open this in our community. I was told by numerous people that our community doesn't want this. Our community doesn't want a learning center, that you're not going to be profitable. No one wants to rent retail space to you because education is not profitable in an urban community. So we are the first Sylvan Learning Center in the urban community. And that's first for Sylvan. And so even Sylvan tried to push us to go into different communities. But now when we get the numbers every month, the Northeast Bronx is killing it. We're top in the Northeast, not just the Bronx, but in the Northeast, where our enrollment rate for our families is over 100%. So Sylvan wants you to be at 60%. The average is usually between 40 and 60%. And our location is over 100%, meaning that the previous bookings, if parents didn't book in February, they wind up booking in March. So it makes, and our March is already at 100%. So it just makes me so excited for our kids' futures, because the reason why I opened it is because I was fearful of our futures. I felt like COVID exposed a lot that our community didn't have access to, knowing that now it's necessary for us to supplement our children's education, and to know that once that we opened the doors, that our parents started coming and they're staying, and we're starting to see the results, right? We're getting the fruits of our labor now. So we are here. We're here to support the community. Bronx Bound Books, you said you need a STEM partnership. Well, that is our jam. We do STEM, we do robotics, we do coding, and we love to give back to the community. So if you have a program in May and you need a partner, we have all the supplies. We have the iPads, we have the Legos, we have the instructors. So you just call us, any of you call us when you need us, and we'll be there. We'll come out to schools, we'll come to where you are. And we also have this beautiful location right here in Dreiser Loop in Co-op City.
So very
Thank
awesome.
you. I wanted to add one thing. We do I wanted to share this with you, Juliet. PepsiCo has an amazing STEM program, and they want to get into the Bronx. So I'll be working with them for May 11th. So maybe I can send information to my connection there and link you guys, because they have a presence in Mount Vernon and Westchester, and they're looking for a way to get into the Bronx.
Let's go. We also are starting, we had it last year. We had, I think, about 6 students in our STEM summer camp. We started a STEM summer camp here in Co-op City, and now we have over 50 students trying to sign up to be in our summer camp, which we're trying to rent out more space here in Dreiser Loop so that we could offer the program to all students. So we would love to partner with someone to help us be able to facilitates them to our community, to 50+ students.
Perfect. Thank you. I'll be in touch with you later on tonight.
Thank you. I got your number as well. I wrote it down. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
May I say something for a minute? Thank you, Juliet. Thank you, everybody. It's so nice being in a group with folks that are like-minded and have the same type of mission to uplift the children in our neighborhoods. It's so wonderful. I know at work we look at the stats and how far behind our kids fell during COVID, and it's something else. So I just appreciate being invited by Talene and being with such wonderful folks with the same kind of mission in mind. Thank you.
That's awesome. This all brings me to, if you have ever seen my emails and you see the last thing that I say on my emails, it is, to the world you might be one person, but to one person you might be the world. So this is what I'm talking about right here. I am being obedient, right? If you know anything about a transplant, you know, for God to decide to keep you here, you have to be obedient, and that I am. So I am so pleased that you all could make it. John, love you madly. Sherry, please get home safe and drive carefully. Sherry, text me when you get in the house, please.
I will. I will.
That's that old school. You know how that goes. Is there anything else that anyone else would like to say before we close out? If not, Joan, I would love for you to take us out, please.
Joan?
Yes, I heard. Let's bow our heads as we pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this gathering, dear Lord. This gathering of great people who have the same thought and the same ideas in mind. Dear Heavenly Father, we hope that everyone will leave here feeling refreshed and knowing that they did not waste their time, but that they're leaving here with a lot of information that is useful for them to help others in their community. We thank you, dear Lord, for everything that you have done for us. And we ask that you will continue to give us your blessings and to work with us, dear Lord, so that we can uplift the people, especially the youngsters, the young adults in our neighborhood. We thank you, dear Lord, for Miss Talene, the leader of this group. And we ask, dear Lord, that you'll continue to strengthen her, to empower her, and to give her the ideas for each month's meeting and the folks that she should connect with or contact to make this meeting a blessing to all of us. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for everything that you have done for us and what you promised that you will do for us. We look forward to that, Heavenly Father. And we ask that those who are traveling back to their homes, that you will take them there safely. And when they get home, everything will be intact the way they left it, dear Lord. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you for everything. Thank you for each other. And thank you for the many blessings that you have bestowed on us. And we ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Hi, Tolene.
Bye.
Ted, how are you?
I'm
Hi,
fine,
Ted.
Tolene. Tolene, I have to join late. Was the meeting recorded?
It was.
Okay, so I'll get it on the replay.
Well, I'm so happy you came.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, ladies, I love y'all
Bye.
madly.
Don't
Good
forget
night, everyone. Good
that
night.
men were there also.
Oh, yes.
Hello, everyone.
I said that to Dr. Joseph
Have a
already.
blessed week.
Thank you.